Good afternoon and thanks for joining us on KARE 11 News Now. I'm Lauren Lemanchak. Now let's get to your headlines. One person is in custody after two Minneapolis police officers were injured overnight in the Seward neighborhood. Police responded to a domestic call at an apartment building on 21st Avenue South near Interstate 94 around 1 a.m. Two officers were injured and one suspect was arrested. Minneapolis police told KARE 11 both officers have been released from the hospital. Their injuries were not serious. Also in Minneapolis, the rash of car vandalism and robbery continues. The latest targets are the Uptown and Whittier neighborhoods. This comes after another round of break-ins just last week in northeast Minneapolis and near the University of Minnesota campus. Some residents are paying upwards of $350 to fix their windows. They blame it on an increase in drug use and theft throughout the area. A St. Paul neighborhood is set to lose one of its major grocery stores. The state issued a notice saying the Midway Cub Foods will close to the public at the beginning of August. It's just off I-94 and steps away from Allianz Field. The store's nearly 100 employees will be laid off. Ian Russell has more on Cub's decision and its impact.
No, it's just terrible, man.
On a day like today,
It's bad for people like me.
Jimmy Brown can't help but be upset.
I'm worried about it because I can ride my children.
3 decades in a wheelchair has him factoring in distance every time he leaves the house. Now factoring in tough news.
This cub, it's in the neighborhood.
In a letter filed to the state today, Cub announced they'll close the St. Paul Midway location by August 2nd. A spokesperson didn't give a specific reason, just saying the decision came after, quote, carefully evaluating all options. The shutdown will affect 96 employees and thousands who live nearby.
Because we need this.
Target and Aldi have locations not far from this Cub.
Simple.
Connie Higgins lives nearby and says that doesn't cut it.
No, it won't be enough. Because sometimes you go in Aldi and they don't have all the things that you need.
This isn't the only grocery store in the city to shut down recently. Lunds & Byerly's closed their downtown St. Paul store earlier this year, citing staffing issues and rising security costs. Cub didn't mention safety issues, but Higgins says she has concerns.
Stop tearing up your neighborhood where you live. Stop.
St. Paul police say so far this year they've been called to the store 223 times, averaging about a call a day. In 2024, they were called to the store 400 times. With just days left, Jimmy is enjoying this while he can, with new decisions coming soon.
I know I'm in a wheelchair, but I want to be independent. I want to do my own shopping.
Well, now to the tragic death of actor Malcolm Jamal Warner, who authorities say drowned while on vacation with his family in Costa Rica. Warner, of course, is best known for his role as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Jesse Kirsch is in Costa Rica with the latest on the investigation, as well as a look back at his life and career.
This is the beach where Malcolm Jamal Warner's life suddenly and shockingly came to an end over the weekend. As soon as we got here today, we immediately were able to see signs warning about the potential for a rip current, signs warning about the potential risks of going in the water here. And you can see that there is a red flag up right now. And of course, that's something that can change as conditions change on a beach. But that is something that tells people to not go swimming. That gives you a sense of how conditions can be at this Costa Rican beach. A source close to Warner tells NBC News that he was with his wife and his young daughter on vacation on Sunday when a day at the beach went horribly wrong. Warner, of course, was best known as Theo Huxtable on The Cosby Show. Costa Rican officials say Warner drowned Sunday afternoon in the province of Limon. According to investigators, the 54-year-old was swept away by the sea's current before bystanders were able to pull him out of the water. But at that time, he had no vital signs. After his time on The Cosby Show, Warner continued acting, including alongside Tracy Ellis Ross in Read Between the Lines. On Monday, she wrote, "My heart is so, so sad. You made the world a brighter place." Warner also worked as a poet and a musician and even earned a Grammy. The source close to Warner says all signs point to this having been a tragic accident. And the Costa Rican Red Cross says it treated a second man here at the scene. That individual, at last word, was in critical condition, taken to a local clinic. Back to you.
Well, President Trump meets today with another global leader as his administration promises more trade deals. On the domestic front, the battle over lawmaker efforts to release the full Epstein files and a new report that says spending in the big beautiful bill far outstrips the cuts. NBC's Alice Barr has details from Washington.
President Trump today meeting with the president of the Philippines, expected to talk trade 10 days out from sweeping reciprocal tariffs set to hit trading partners around the world. The Treasury Secretary saying the administration is not rushing trade negotiations.
We are more concerned with high quality deals than getting these deals done by August 1st.
As U.S. businesses brace for the impact of higher import taxes and weigh passing costs on to consumers, a new report from the nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office projecting the president's One Big Beautiful Bill Act will add $3.4 trillion to the national debt, with spending and lost revenue from extended tax cuts far outstripping cuts to programs like Medicaid, expected to cost 10 million Americans their health insurance.
Republicans' signature bill is the ultimate betrayal of the American people.
Republicans emphasizing the law's provisions like no tax on tips, as leadership tries to brush off efforts led by House Republican Thomas Massie to force a vote on releasing the full files about notorious sex offender Jeffrey Epstein.
There is no daylight between the House Republicans, the House, and the president on maximum transparency.
The House Speaker arguing to give the administration space, with the White House underscoring President Trump's request to unseal grand jury testimony and for the DOJ and FBI to release any other credible evidence, seeking to push past a lingering controversy still dividing the MAGA base. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
This week, thousands of people will make their way to Blaine for the 3M Open, and that includes some of the world's best golfers. Festivities are getting underway right now. KARE 11's Michelle Beck takes a look at the impact.
Well, hey there. Organizers at the 3M Open tell me their event is drawing at least 100,000 people to Blaine. Plus, they are bringing their wallets. The economic impact of this tournament is anywhere between $40 and $60 million. All that money is for the region surrounding the course at TPC Twin Cities. A tournament spokesperson says those tens of millions of dollars are a combination of direct, indirect, and induced spending. Think about all the local services like security, transportation, guest services, and catering needed to run a huge operation. There's also the out-of-town visitors they'll be spending on restaurants and hotels all across the metro, especially in the host city.
July is a very busy month in Blaine. We just got done with the USA Cup, and then we go right into the 3M Open. And it's really exciting and neat to see just all of the visitors that come to the city of Blaine. We really tout ourselves as a sports and recreation destination, not only for the state of Minnesota, but the entire country and for the world.
Organizers tell me charitable proceeds are also included in the economic impact to the area. This year, the 3M Open will give to more than 25 different charities. Back to you.
Stick with us. We have more news and weather coming up after the break.